sage.
That's our, yeah. You were right on. We don't even need an introduction to today's episode.
Tell me get out of my head.
Everybody's mom's there if it's Kyrie's best day.
Oh my God.
My mom mean. Have fun. She mean as hell.
Mom's just gonna be cleaning up.
That's actually my kink. So, mean moms is my kink.
Mean mommy. Wow.
Mean mommy.
That sounds like I got terrible traumas going on right now.
Yes.
We can see that coming.
You didn't see that coming.
Oh, of course I did. We can see you. Your mean mommy fetish, please.
Oh, the fact that I just realized I had a mean mommy fetish at the
Mean mommy for the happy baby.
You told me a thing you thought before. I knew something was wrong with you. I met you drunk when you was real honest. I know.
He's so messed up that people are like, yo, Kyrie cool, but he's a little different.
See, no one had to say anything. You was just like, Mohawk, I heard you was real solid. Then you started sharing your inner fears. I'm like, oh, this nigga, oh, damn.
He'll tell you. We do give you credit for that. Kyrie will tell you.
Yeah. I'm never confused.
Yeah. No.
I think this is therapeutic for me. This is really okay. Let's jump straight into the episode.
Welcome back to Group Therapy with Kyrie the Comic, Catherine Conquaware, and our guest today,
Mohawk Johnson.
Mohawk Johnson.
The only. You've heard about him. You've read about him. You might have seen his stuff on social media. His TikToks are hilarious. His voiceover work. Oh my God, y'all need to book this man. Please, y'all, welcome the one and only Mr. Mohawk Johnson, y'all.
To Beyond Bars today with the snare echo.
Thank you for having me.
We are missing Felonious today, but we're going to cruise ahead anyway. He is stuck on set. For anyone that is missing his face and voice, he will be back.
He's stuck on set.
R.I.P. Young.
That must be really.
He ain't dead. I just miss him. I just miss him. He makes me happy.
Monk make a lot of people happy.
Yeah.
My life got better when I met him. I'm not gonna lie.
He does that for people.
Yeah, we got a nice clip of talking about how he does a different work as an OG, and how he interacts with people, younger comedians, and so that's real. So shout out to bro, wherever he at on set. I hope he get like a green bowl of M&Ms, and that's it. Like, how you're on your rider, you like, yo, I need only the left Twix, bro. If I catch a right Twix in my trailer, I'm gonna lose.
If this ever takes off, Kyrie is going to be a fucking nightmare. In case anyone's wondering about a podcast tour or anything like that, you might want to communicate directly with anyone but Kyrie.
Oh, yeah, because I need all red Skittles. Oh my God, if it's anything other than red Skittles, I'm going.
Red? That's your color? Skittles,
well,
red?
I actually want them all, but separate. So I want a bowl of yellows, a bowl of greens.
We are moving out of menace and fully into autism. Like, this is, and I don't mean that in an ableist way, as someone who has it. I'm a dinosaur autistic.
You back when we used to just get bullied.
I was a dinosaur autistic. You like, why does nigga like Pokemon? I'm like, I like the one that look like dinosaurs. I like all the dinosaurs.
Charmander,
Spyro the Dragon.
Don't get me started on Spyro.
And what?
Like, okay.
Charizard?
Dragons and dinosaurs, yo. And giant monsters like kaiju, like Godzilla and them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know why I didn't know I was autistic earlier. I don't know how I didn't. Just like, I only eat chicken tenders.
We just had different names for it that, like, different.
Yeah.
Or touched. He's just a little touched.
Mom was like, he a little special, but his grade's good.
Yeah. We had different words.
She's like, I don't understand it. Like, he's on the honor roll.
It's crazy. So I never got diagnosed, but every few days, somebody's like, you should probably do it. I got the thing where I, like, listen to one song for, like, literally hundreds of times in a row. Like, I don't need to change it. It just be on repeat. Ugh. People like, this is actually a sign that you're a little bit different, that you can do this.
The fact that I clocked you, and this is the second time we met in person. It's like, man, this shit feel familiar. Come on. Come on.
Because people always be like, he's just high.
I mean, that too.
And they're not wrong there, are they?
They're not. It's a rouge. You got to give them coffee. So, Mohawk, speaking of that, I met you, what is it, 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2022 maybe. 2
years ago, and this brother had a very specific energy that I was like, hey, do y'all know who y'all got in this building right now? It can go sideways for a lot of people in a lot of different ways. So tell us a little bit about yourself, Mohawk, and, like, why I was able to find you at Second City that day, and, like, what's going on with you. So let's just start with, like, Mohawk.
Cool. I'm an autistic nigga that like chicken tenders. Can I say the N word?
Shaped as dinosaurs.
Yeah.
I'm also worried about you saying tenders. Is that legal now?
Yo. No, give me the dino nuggies though, because dinosaurs are birds and chicken is birds, so I'm eating the dinosaur shaped like dinosaur. Let me calm down. Nah, but on the real, grew up on the south side of Chicago. Grew up on 87th. Went to school on CC 3rd. Went to college.
What school you go to?
I went to Columbia College Chicago.
Oh, you are art artist. Okay.
That's nothing to be proud of.
It's nothing to be.
If you look at their retention rate, it's nothing.
Brother, it sounds like
Did you
went
go?
from
Did you
CPS.
go
You know their
to?
retention rate?
I mean,
The graduation rate?
I did. I went to Inglewood on 63rd and Stewart.
Oh, so
I was very in CPS. Very deeply in CPS.
Did you go to Columbia to do something artistic?
I went for acting originally. I was homesick from school one day, and I was watching Rent, and in my delirium, I'm like, nah, I could do that.
And Rent is the singing musical.
The musical.
Where they
I was
hanging out
looking at
the door?
the movie musical. Yep.
Oh, you know the song from?
Yeah, that's my culture.
I was like, yeah. I was like, yo, it is 525,600 minutes.
Your culture too.
That's
Look
where
at
that line
Look
came
at that.
from.
Yeah.
All right, y'all got to put me on. The only one I really like was Grease, so I got a lot to
No,
learn.
you
That's
gotta
a
get
good-
into Rent, yo. Rent is
Yeah.
a good
Rent
musical
sound good.
with a bad plot. You can't look at the plot at all. You just gotta be like, you just gotta be happy that there's gay niggas singing. You know what I'm saying? You just gotta be like, yo, they put they talked about AIDS in a meaningful way.
For real?
It's
Oh,
not
Yeah,
all
it's
tragic
about-
all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not just trauma
Yeah.
being thrown black. You know, like a lot of black queer movies, they'll just be like, hey, what if all the gay niggas died? And that one is just like, hey, what if motherfuckers was
People
alive
sang.
and gay and thriving and everything wasn't horrible all the time? You know, like just there's like a lot of
good.
interpersonal drama, but
It's
like
good.
motherfuckers, you know, like Rent is one of those you turn your brain off a little bit and you're just happy to see people. You're just happy to see tan to brown people on the screen. You just look at y'all, look at you go.
So you grew up inspired by Rent and these other type of pieces of media.
Mm-hmm.
How does that lead you into Columbia? And then what was you majoring when you was there?
I was majoring in acting, and then I switched over to creative writing because I wasn't happy with acting because I don't think I'm that good of an actor. I looked at me and I looked at my weaknesses and my strengths, and I'm like, this ain't what I'm supposed to be doing. This is not. I'm a good writer. I can write good jokes. I'm gonna study creative writing. I'm gonna do a concentration in poetry because I was mean with the poetry scene. I was at some point in Chicago's history, I was one of the strongest youth poets in the city.
You was doing Louder Than a Bomb?
Consistently.
Did you ever win?
I won Spirit of the Slam and Mike Terrorist
Shut up.
my last year. Yeah.
Dang, Joe, you got to lean back into that then. Joe,
I ain't got nothing to say right now.
that's a cap.
I ain't got nothing to say.
That's not even true.
Sometimes you gotta shut up.
You're a creative writer. You never technically stop writing. You can shut up, but you never stop writing.
Touche.
So you was over there at Columbia killing it. How did you end up here as a stand-up?
Alcoholism.
Okay, fuck, that was
Alcoholism.
that was fast.
Self-aware.
sadness and alcohol.
Self-awareness continues.
And it's so messed up that I kind of want to ask what came first, the chicken or the egg? Did you get the traumas that make you drink, or did the drinking make you get more traumas?
It started with the trauma because I was straight edge, and then I was angry all the time, and then I was drinking, and I was like, I'm less angry.
In that moment, yeah.
In that moment, I'm less angry, and just a downward spiral. A downward spiral.
Do you still drink?
No.
Congratulations.
Good for you.
That's huge, dog.
So you stayed in comedy, but cut the booze.
Mm-hmm. So when people try to pay me with drink tickets, I'm like, nah, you got to give me money because what am I gonna do with this? You got to give me real money. You know?
Yeah, that's
you can get whatever you want. I'm like, if I can get a bottle of $180 alcohol with accumulated drink tickets, just give me $180. Just give me that much money.
Yeah, that's a big problem in comedy is being able to for independent producers of rooms where the bar has to make money and like also like off of anything but liquor sales. And I hear you. Yeah, everyone deserves to get paid a little more for this work, and yet it's so like it's supply and demand to a degree, and it's also I think producer greed in a lot of cases.
A lot of producer greed.
Yeah.
I hate producer greed. That's one of my things I love. Like I don't know. I'm a comedian. I really don't like when people mess up the game for other ones. You know what I mean? Like, pay people, pay your producers.
Because producing is hard. I mean, producing's work. You deserve to get your check too. But but
not off the backs of other people, right? When we talk about like that type of exploitation, right? Like people out here like paying people $20, dog, in this economy, $25 for a set or the host. I kind of need you to burn in hell, and it's not your fault, but I do need you to still burn in hell.
Yeah, I got offered to do something recently for $20 for like a 3-hour kind of weekly commitment, and I was like, we'll talk about
a 3-hour weekly
not
commitment.
Going to be happening, unless we're talking an equity stake and stuff moving forward. You know, that's a different conversation. But
somebody slid in my TikTok DMs today and was like, "Hey, can you edit videos for me for $7 an hour?" And I'm like, "Edit videos? I go viral twice a week. You want me to edit you videos for half of minimum wage an hour?" Mind you, you came over here because I was that good at editing my own
you
shit.
Came to me.
Which are pretty good. If y'all are listening, check this brother out on TikTok. I know he going through some beef right now with IG, but check him out on TikTok. Is it Mo Hates Media or is that the different one?
Mo Hates Media. I also got Mohawk So Funny. Those two.
Mohawk So Funny. Check him out on TikTok. Funny as like voiceovers. Hilarious.
And very good editing.
Very good editing.
The editing,
but not for $7 an hour. Okay, so you were doing. Sorry, we interrupted you.
No,
in
you
your
are
story.
good. You are good.
You were doing poetry, switching over to creative writing, comedy because of booze, and then just stayed in comedy.
I stayed in comedy. Was rapping for a little bit. There's better rappers. There's better rappers.
But I mean, there's better comedians, right? That don't mean you shouldn't use that vehicle or that art to express yourself, you know.
Fair enough.
Real shit, yeah. So like, what do you think your comedy career is in relation to, like, because you're a multidisciplined artist at this point, right? How do you feel about comedy in comparison to like your poetry skills, in comparison to your overall creative writing? Because you could very well be working on like a script or something like that as well. How do you feel about the different parts of your life right now?
I'm just happy to be here. To be honest, I've been in some dark places. I'm just happy I'm still alive. I think the poetry helps the comedy in regards to, timing and understanding and being able to work with a crowd, which I think are my skill sets. My timing is solid, and I'm good at leaning into what the crowd is doing. I will make a crowd laugh at my reaction to a joke that they did not laugh at if they did not laugh at the joke, which means I can always get a crowd back. I can usually win people back if I lose them, and I don't lose people all that often. And that is a skill that I learned from Poetry Slam, where it's like, I lost them with that line. How will I perform this next, And
the beats.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
So how long have you been doing comedy?
I started doing comedy for real, like in a way that I took seriously, 2019.
Okay. And then did you keep doing, like, how did you adjust with pandemic and stuff? Did you just keep writing? Did you do Zoom stuff? Did you like cool it and then come back sort of after? How did you maneuver it based on also everything you were going through and experiencing?
Zoom shows.
Yeah.
And I started making skits. I started writing skits and shooting them in my room because couldn't be nowhere else.
Why is that?
Jail.
I
got in trouble at the pandemic. I had a protest.
And for the three of you listening or watching that don't know, that are keyed into us enough to know
people that are interested
what's
in
going
Mohawk's
on.
story.
No, I'm saying the three people that are not just interested, like people that are interested in us, I feel like might already have an idea of sort of, at the very least, what was presented to them and what happened. So would you like to tell your sort of story around it?
Yeah. I saw this police officer at a defund ICE protest, swinging his baton. There was this girl with a bike. They pulled her bike away, put her on the ground, started beating her up. They got him off of her. Then he started swinging at somebody else. Somebody grabbed his baton, and I went upside his head with a skateboard because I saw him beating the shit out of women. And that's not how my mom raised me. So I hammed his bitch ass up. And I did 2 years on house arrest, and now I'm on 2 years of probation. Homie got 9 excessive force complaints on his record.
9?
Yeah, and I think he got a civil case for shooting somebody in the back 4 times.
How is he still working?
You know how.
It's
Well,
Chicago. Chicago.
Listen,
We know
I
how.
know. I have to play coy for our listeners so that we can actually.
The city we live in is evil. The city is evil.
So let's go into more detail because we understand that police unions have insurance, right?
Mm-hmm.
And when they have those civil suits and they have to pay out, it hits that insurance. Y'all adults, we hate deductibles. I'm assuming that the unions deductible is up there because if I'm not mistaken, I heard that they're actually spending millions of dollars of taxpayer dollars that you send to your government, your local government, so that there's no potholes and your kids can read. But now our baby's dumb and the pothole will lead you to China. So we know that the dollars is going somewhere clearly to these situations where they're not firing bad apples, and then they be mad at us for saying the batch sucks, right?
Mm-hmm.
So in your opinion, what needs to happen in them situations where you have an excessive force case, somebody like you who's trying to, in my opinion, it seems like a citizen's arrest, because at that point you are trying to apprehend somebody who is literally harming another citizen, regardless of their status in terms of like law enforcement, because the instance that you are harming someone, you are not operating out of law, right? So like, what do you think of that type of situation in terms of like what should really be happening? Because that's,
I mean, the only thing I really say is that it shouldn't be happening because we shouldn't have police at this point.
Oh, you going abolition roll?
We just shouldn't have police. Like, I can't give nobody no legal advice because if I had anything good, I wouldn't be a felon right now. So clearly, I don't know what the fuck is going on.
But you can, but we're always curious in everyone's, thoughts around it. So not just defund, don't exist. So do you identify as an abolitionist?
Oh, I'm a full-on abolitionist.
Right,
Here's the thing. You look at any group of people with uniforms that did too much in history. We don't go, some of the Nazis were bad, but some of them were good. It's just like, nah, they had the 8 years of fucking around, and we were like, nah, that 8 years is enough. The police have been beating the fuck out of black people since they were the slave patrol in the fucking 1800s.
Did you just say that sheriffs actually derived from slave patrols that was sent to go and
same badge.
capture free slaves? Oh my God! So maybe
That's
people listening should look up
from.
some of the original slave patrol badges and see how they look just like sheriff badges.
Yeah, no, that's just what they look like. And mind you, I come from like an ex-military and ex-sheriff department family, and all the black people in my family hated their experience, and their coworkers were so racist to them. Because this is in the 60s where they're like, oh, they're letting us be cops. Maybe we could police our own communities and they can't kill us no more. That's not how the fuck that worked. They's beating my grandpa and them ass out of uniform and in uniform, and then they bounced because they couldn't do that shit no more. Because they're like, nope, we can't change it. We cannot change it from the inside. So if you a hood nigga, you like, hey, I could join the police and I could stop them. They're going to beat the fuck out of you. They don't like that. They going to beat your ass.
Yeah.
They do not like it when you try to change them from the inside.
You're good.
They do not like it when you try to change it from the inside. They can't be a thing anymore. Because again, how many people in uniform have fucked up and have been allowed to fuck? You got 200 years of fucking up? We came to a consensus about fascism at the 8 years of them fucking up on a different continent. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And now we got it in the backyard, and y'all gonna sit here and pretend that there's some nuance like answer to it. Like, no, you can't fucking, like, how many black people need to die in public? Matter of fact, a lot of people use like Dr. King in arguments. They're like, why can't y'all act like Dr. King? And I'm like, who is throwing the dogs at him?
Well, they also kind of just want you to die silently.
Yeah, they want you to die quiet. But it's one of those like, okay, let's say you really care about Dr. King. Who sicked the dogs on him? Why does Dr. King have a longer arrest record than I do? Right, inciting riots, disturbing the people, all that shit. That man got a rap sheet 4 times as long as mine. You know what I'm saying? Like, who? And everybody's like, well, nobody says fuck the fire department. Fuck the fire department too. Who had the water hoses? We don't talk about that part. We don't talk like the first responders really
institutional racism in our first responders.
The first responders be agreeing with each other. Like the fire department, like who was bringing the dump trucks and the fire trucks out to block the protesters off in 2020 before they started lifting the bridges. It was the fire department. Like it's all of them. It's just like not like you don't want to believe that Doug is racist. He watches your kids and plays golf with you. You don't want to think about because you over here fighting fires and you think Doug's job is dangerous. Doug's job not dangerous like yours. You have to go to the fire. He don't have to go to the shooting. Doug can sit in the car and wait for backup. We saw what happened at that school shooting when they was listening to the kids die before they apprehended anybody. Them motherfuckers do not protect nobody.
Well, even during the pandemic, we saw local for law enforcement kind of hanging out in certain all the people offices and elected officials offices, scared. Yeah, essentially scared. And a lot of times, if you can't do your job, you usually pick another job. You don't just sit there, right? Mm-hmm. Imagine if I'm like working at KFC and I'm terrified of chicken. I probably should not work in KFC. Like, it's so weird to be like, yeah, I hate burgers. I work at White Castle. Yeah, go fuck yourself. Because why are you here?
Why are you in here? Like,
that is real. So, can you describe what happened to you after that situation? Because you described a situation where, you saved that young lady because she was being beat. There's no way of telling what was going to happen to her if you did not step in. And just to let you know, you do have a lot of support from people around the city. More people that I find know your story than your name. And I think it would behoove people to have your name and your brand attached to it because it's something that you can't separate yourself from now that you're a felon.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so if you are in a position where you're doing things to protect women and children in the community and stuff happens to you in retaliation, we can talk more about the forms of retaliation you faced because I follow you. But if that is the case, then I think that more people should know your name then so that way they can show you love and support you. Because when I talk about your story around the city, people know you. And they remember that story. So what happened after that?
After that, they beat the fuck out of me. They beat my ass.
Define beat the fuck out of you. We talking Rodney King?
We talking getting kicked in the face, getting
shit
pepper sprayed at point blank range.
You ain't ball up? You ain't do fetal position?
Well, I mean, it's hard when one of them holding you.
Oh, so they was arresting you and beating your ass.
They was beating the shit out of me, slamming my head in the car saying, stop resisting. I'm like, I'm not resisting. That nigga said I can go home. You saying I gotta stay on the car. I just don't know who to listen to because both of y'all are saying conflicting shit. I just need to know who to listen to. Y'all can stop hitting me. And once I made it abundantly clear that I wasn't on that with them, they didn't calm the fuck down.
After they beat your ass a little while.
After they beat because it's kind of hard to start. It's kind of hard to keep beating the fuck out of somebody and they being polite to you. Like, it's real hard. It's just unless you evil like that, and a lot of them.
George Floyd kind of.
I mean, no, George Floyd absolutely, but like it's one of those things where it's like some of these motherfuckers are evil. Some of these motherfuckers. It's this thing. Oh God, it's this book about the rise of fascism, and I'm forgetting the author's name. I'm forgetting her name, and she coined the term. But it's this casual evil of you just do what you're told. Because she was talking about the rise of Nazism and how her family had to leave, and she was like, it's not even the evil motherfuckers that like hurting people. It's the casual motherfuckers that'll do it anyway just because their boss told them to, even if they don't agree.
They're just
because
doing their
they
job.
have no higher thought.
They're just doing their job.
They have no higher consciousness. So when people are like, well, they're just doing their job, I'm like, look at what your job is. Your job is kick a nigga that kept a woman from getting beat because your coworker liked to beat women. Weird. That's a weird job. I wouldn't work there. I wouldn't work. I've left jobs because a nigga blinked at me funny. You're not gonna have me defending no dude that's beating up teenage girls in the street. You know what I'm saying? Like can't be me. Can't fucking be me. I don't know how they sleep. But it's one of them things where it's like, it's not even that every single one of them is evil. Every single one of them is, but like it's you don't even know you're evil because you're just doing what the people around you are doing and you have not had a conscious thought about what the fuck you're doing at all. Because when's the last time as a cop you've actually saved somebody? Like you pull homeless people off the train. Have you fed anyone? That saves people.
Have you served anybody?
Right. Have you when's the last time you brought somebody some fucking water?
I ain't seen nobody get cat out of tree.
Saved is a heavy stretch, but served is like, I don't know.
Like, when's the last time you done anything? You're supposed to you a first responder and you the only kind that ain't trained in CPR?
Or mental health first aid.
Right, you don't know no mental health first aid. You none of you are CPR certified, and you go for your gun first. What are you trained to do?
Oh,
what are you trained to do for real? Like,
protect the fuck out you.
I'm trained in CPR. I know how to help a motherfucker having a heart attack or asthma attack or can't breathe on the fucking train. 12. Shit, there's that one dude that set himself on fire at the fucking White House, and Secret Service pulled a gun, and then somebody was like, we don't need a gun, we need a fire extinguisher. Because the thought is kill. Like, that's all they fucking know.
And I'm already dying. I'm on fire.
Yeah.
I'm not a big threat. I'm on fire.
Dying.
Is this the same brother that had a manifesto? About,
that was, I think, the one in New York.
So many people set themselves on fire.
Outside the Trump trial. I was talking about this with my friend the other day, how just, like, desensitized we are to literally everything. Like, this week is a perfect example, too, right? Like, an unprecedented affair in terms of, like, who was likely to be our future president becoming a felon on 34 counts. And, like, it's not even coffee conversation. We're all just like, we know. Like, there's so much, like, desensitized that man set himself on fucking fire outside of the Trump trial, like set himself on fire, and we all went to work on Monday and we're like, how was your weekend?
And that, honestly, Catherine, that shit
like, that's just just another day because there's it's just there's like trauma overload because I think for better and worse, like people, and for the most part better, but I think we just haven't figured out how to deal with it yet, right? There's just so much now education and information overload on things like whether it is police brutality and an entire race of people, myself, what coming to, like, maybe some people deciding not to or whatever, but now having access to more information that we weren't taught in public school because it's white history that we're taught, right? So like now we have all this information maybe on this one's, not just this one topic, right, but everything all the time, and it's like, okay, so how do we process this other than like turn away from one thing or turn away from all things? I think that's like what's happening with this general like someone just set themselves on fucking fire.
well, what I do is, am I interrupting?
No. That was kind of more tangent than anything. That's but
what I do with information overload is I try to look for connections. Like I look at police brutality, and I look at the genocide that's happening in Gaza right now, and I realize that the IOF, the IDF, whatever the fuck they call, I don't know my ops names. I don't know my ops by name. I don't. But they U.S. police departments and vice versa.
And share equipment.
Yeah, and share
like
equipment.
tear gas, that's illegal.
You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things where it's like, I'm not overloaded by hearing about Gaza and hearing about Black Death because they're the same monster. They're the same training. They're the same people. These things are just happening at once.
Yeah, I mean, that's why police are trained to pull the gun. That's what we do. Like, we're like, oh, is there a problem? We'll send military. Like, to whom, to where? Like, I don't even know that we fully do the investigate, but like that, yeah, it's cultural, like, and capitalistic, honestly.
As well,
but,
we send more military equipment and weapons of death than weapons of life. You don't hear about us sending like barrels and barrels of food. You don't hear about us doing certain things.
Speaking of weapons of life, not to interrupt Kyrie, but we have had a join of our third host who we could use in this conversation, as with all. Come over here, yeah, and then I'll use this.
Hi guys.
Yeah,
What's up with your man, so? What's up with your man? It's your man.
I've met him twice.
Well,
No, that's your man.
I've met you more times. I have your phone.
I was with you on that
That's
one.
fair.
Yeah. Captain was with
I
you.
told him that. I was like, he probably not gonna do it because of Kyrie, but I'll call him.
That's crazy.
Yo, that is
Yo.
wild.
I wasn't gonna say it, but that is how that went down.
I would have done it because I like the attention. That's not true at all.
Hey, that's funny because I do sing.
That isn't exactly what happened, but it's way funnier. Here's the thing.
It's not what happened, but it's funny if that's the
It's
narrative.
way funnier. What are we talking about
wasn't
here?
not what
Donald Trump got convicted of 34 crimes, and we
were
know
just
he's
on
not going to do a day in. We know he's not going to jail. Donald Trump is a
hear
felon.
me?
That's what happened, but that ain't really what happened. He's be home tonight. Fucking dickhead. But yeah, I mean, Kyrie was like, I keep asking Mohawk, and he keeps telling me he's busy. And I was like, oh, I'll call Mohawk. And then I called Mohawk, and he was like, man, I just thought Kyrie was a weirdo, so I ain't want to do it. But if you fuck with it, he said, Catherine, cool. I just ain't know what the situation was with my mans. So glad you're here, bro.
Yeah, so thank you, Monk.
Yeah, you welcome. I mean, I still have my rep is good in this city. I ain't saying that yours isn't. I'm just saying.
That's a little bit what you just
I'm saying it's not like mine.
I can't even look over at you right now because us in our like matching white with this mic in the moment. We look like we're about to do something.
It's not good. Yeah.
Some other rent shit is what it looks like we're
Yeah,
about to do.
Look at his face.
You give like a I bite people in fights energy.
He did used to. I could tell. He had
Like
silver
yo,
teeth.
3-hit combo was like, yo, heavy attacking.
One chomp man.
Catherine is laughing.
Just one chomp man.
Tyler's grinning at this.
Yo.
So now some type of autistic
I don't think I've
Pokemon.
ever-
Yes.
Yo, wild as hell.
You use crunch. Your
good
special
shit.
effect is strong jaw. You hit my special interest.
Quick
You
question
done
though.
fucked up.
Before you got your grown-up teeth, were any of your baby teeth silver?
I wasn't a silver mouth baby.
Okay.
I know what you're thinking.
I do think that if we're talking about this, people are always talking about, oh, you live in this neighborhood, you have this upbringing. These are things that indicate you're going to be locked up at some point. I think silver teeth
Oh my God, would you say
are an
jab, jab,
indication
chomp? What,
of
that was-
future
I haven't
imprisonment.
never seen Tyler's teeth with a smile like that. That's the closest I've ever seen.
Yeah,
to him
that's.
I'm sorry, Tyler.
laughing
I'm
as
a.
hard as
I don't.
humanly
Tyler, you
possible.
never laugh at the jokes about me. What the hell is that?
I'm a really good comedian, Kyrie. I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. That was just abuse. I've been on I've been on set. It's been a tough day. That you didn't deserve that one.
And you
That
put
was-
me in here, and I'm good at roasting.
That's all he does.
All I do is
Yeah.
attack and malign
Yeah.
strangers
Yeah,
who have
yeah.
done nothing to me.
Y'all
You know-
can do a little roast. That's Kyrie's bag too.
I would love to focus more on this brother's story.
Roasting's a part of it. That's
Roast
how-
battle,
no,
Kyrie
That's
is
why I
right.
went to
You're-
jail.
no,
He went to jail
That's
for
how
roasting
I
the
got
cop.
out. I roasted him.
For
They had
the
to let me.
record, Mohawk has a video about roasting that I wanted to touch on.
Right.
That you know I was gonna go there because I saw that video. Somebody know how I talk, and they was like, "You talk like," and I'm like, "Mm-hmm." So we get in. Matter of fact, we're already here. How do you feel about roasting in Chicago's scene,
Roasting in the Chicago scene,
like on stage? at
on
shows?
stage is just a lot of bad comics think they're funny because they can be mean in front of other people.
Felonious act.
There's a lot of unfunny motherfuckers who think they're good comics because they're good roasters, and you're not even a good roaster. You were just racist. Yo,
Hey, man.
that's the truth. And what are they gonna do? Beat my ass? They don't. Nobody has body armor except the nigga I put in the hospital. I'm not worried.
Yo,
Nigga,
you
what-
talking about
y'all,
me
they're not
crack
funny. They're not. I'm sorry. A lot of these motherfuckers is not funny. I'm just
That's
like,
why I was late. I'm gonna be honest. I was being roasted in the hallway, and I kept waiting for them to say something funny, and it just. So I'm 40 minutes late because.
Like, how many
it took them
times are
40
you gonna
minutes
call
to-
me Mr. T or James Harden? There's
Yeah,
other niggas.
That's
There's at least 3 other niggas that look like this. You know 2 of us by name. You've been calling me the same shit since 2010.
What's wild is they call you that, me that, and T Murph that, and none of us look like each other, and none of us look like James Harden. We just are black men with beards.
Yeah.
That's it. Anyone ever
Yeah.
told you look like James Harden? Yeah, your mother did. Your mother did.
That's
She was
also-
like,
I mean,
"Ooh,
I
give me
don't-
that triple double." That's what happened.
Ooh,
I'm sorry.
I love a mama triple double.
I knew you
See,
were gonna
don't
jump
bring
in
a
there.
mom
Did
to
you see how I
funny.
immediately?
He
Put, I
weird.
knew you were gonna
He
get weird.
weird.
You made it weird.
He like to dig in his toes and sniff his fingers. He's
So,
odd.
Mohawk. When so
I don't gotta
walk
sniff 'em.
us through the incident with the Chicago Police Department. Let's go back. This is 2020.
So we got I'll catch
We
you
did get
up.
through that
That we
part.
got through that.
We did
I
get
just
through
was trying to
that
get as
part.
far away from Kyrie as
We got
possible.
into comedy. I think we got all the way to sketches at home.
Okay.
Sketches at home.
I
They
think
beat the
that's
shit
where
out
we
of you.
got
They
to.
beat my ass. The
that's
sergeant came in when I was
White shirt?
White shirt. White shirt came in before I got interrogated. He's like, "This is the guy that hit the cop over the skateboard. He's going to prison." Before I even got interrogated. He started intimidating me, and they all started threatening me, calling me a piece of shit. One of them said they was gonna kill me. Like, whole nine, like bunch of illegal shit that I can't prove because they turned the camera off. It's them.
Well, let's be real. This is also the same city that had a black site, right? And,
Yeah.
and for those that don't know, a black site is where they practice illegal tactics to waterboard and pretty much do terrible things to people who are still American citizens. So you're not supposed to be able to do those things, but they practice those tactics out west.
If
And
you've seen Suicide Squad, the Homan site was basically our Amanda Waller beating the hell out
Yeah.
of black and brown people.
Amanda Wallace was John Burge.
ooh, we getting good.
We naming names.
I like
What?
this episode.
And didn't he
John
die?
Burge is the name. Yeah, he's dead.
Oh, bring him back.
Bring them back.
Bring him back. Tell him to come here. Bring him back. Tell him to come
We gotta
here.
holler at him real quick.
I hope I go to hell so I can beat
Slightly
his
off
ass.
topic, but what kind of skateboard?
Well, I got a skateboard. Oh, I had a Godzilla Huff deck with cruiser wheels. When Godzilla and
It's a
Huff did
longboard?
that collab. It was a cruiser size.
Cruiser
So it was
size, okay.
it was like an 8.5, maybe a little bit bigger.
Don't they
maybe a
make the
9.
wheels fatter though?
I got big wheels, yeah.
And you hit him over the head with the wheel part? or
I
the
hit him
board?
over the head with the metal truck in the helmet. His thing, he had a bike helmet. If your neck get herniated and you had a helmet on, you got a weak neck. Like, that's not on me.
You should do some shrugs. I'll just
like,
help
right,
you a lot.
like-
it's right in here.
See,
wanna
you good.
next
He don't
is
bite
bad.
enough. You bite enough. You're gonna be fine.
hit a bit of piece out the
Jaw.
board, right?
That's strong ass
Like,
jaw.
you got to
Oh,
like.
strong
Y'all
jaw.
got Catherine involved?
No,
They-
she
they-
wasn't involved.
The
She was
here
just
and here is
making an
good with you. You're
observation.
fine.
Catherine has always done
I've
observational
never had to
humor.
roast Catherine in my entire time.
And
of knowing
today's
her.
not the day. All Catherine said was that you appear to be capable of biting through a skateboard.
I can take it. I can take it.
That's what she said. All right.
Oh man.
Low hanging fruit. You're better than
I mean, that's
that.
just like that's like hard.
Oh,
Like, that's not
man.
even a roast.
Dang it.
I don't want to roast. I just
Yeah.
told your ass I'm sparing you, Catherine.
Young Black Steve
I feel
Carell.
like-
That's who. Oh, that's what she said. No,
I feel more offended.
damn
We don't
it.
need it right now. But I feel more offended by
That you
us.
won't roast
Usual
her.
roast.
So
This is his dinner for schmucks.
so
I'm gonna get off that with you. You ain't
It's
did
not your
shit.
fault. He's a nice
But
guy, man.
But you were talking about what we were talking about was you were doing sketches and roast and talking about roast in your sketch when you were doing
Yes.
skits and stuff at home, right?
Yeah.
That was like a thing.
Yeah.
And were you roasting the Chicago comedy scene as being like, or the roasting scene as not being comedy? Or
I did
stand-up?
that in a sketch recently.
Okay.
I wasn't roasting them over the pandemic because I wasn't involved. I hadn't had an experience. I didn't know
Okay.
anything about roast comedy.
But now you've done it a couple times, and now you have.
And
an
I'm
opinion.
like, y'all just find a bunch of creative ways to call me the N-word because you're too afraid to say it out loud.
Oh man.
Like, you're too afraid to call. And here's the thing: if you're gonna almost call me one, call me one, because
That's more fun.
it just it gives me something.
That is more fun.
It
I
gives
just
me
think
something.
that, yeah, I
No.
think that, first of all, I will call you a nigga if it'll make you feel better.
Do your roast Mohawk? Are they not non-appearance based? Just out of curiosity, like to other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, did people have any personality roast with you? It was always like
Very. It's always we heard you was gay.
because I'm not countering, by the way, that people are being racist, but like I feel like a lot of the roast to your
Did
point
they?
and people not necessarily being like full, and this isn't everyone, but like a lot of roast comedy is baseline, like what I see about you because it's not in
Yeah.
depth. It's not
Yeah.
like it's not writing a joke. It's not like doing anything really
Yeah, no,
of
none of
that
it's-
like of that
Yeah.
substance.
The
or
best
whatever.
roasting is really well written, and that's what, unfortunately, so much of it is hard because it's not. It ends up being, like you said, if you watch the roast of Tom Brady, there was some amazing writing in
Yeah,
that roast.
no, and I'm asking because
Well,
I'm just
yeah.
generally speaking, if you see that across the board with roasters, I don't go to roast battle a lot. Like I saw the roast of Brady. We roast Kyrie in here constantly. Don't say anything about who he looks like. like we don't, and you got people that do that. We talk about that.
And
That
then there are
pisses
people
Kyrie.
that
That pisses
only
you
do
off.
that.
Yeah, exactly. That pisses you off too.
Yeah,
So.
and it's lazy, right? Because I look at that and I'm like, so two black people by name. My last roast battle, dude said I look like Mr. T, which is something that a judge said about me the week before
Ooh.
on a panel where they said we don't like it when people repeat jokes.
Um,
And
Oh,
he
you
got
mean-
that
oh,
point, and he
before,
got that
okay.
point anyway. So I'm just over here like,
yeah.
well, what the fuck is the metric? Like, and it's
Yeah.
not even because like I did not bring my A game that round. I ain't no dude like that.
It's hard to do when you like.
Yeah,
don't
like
know
I ain't no
someone,
dude
yeah.
like that. I ain't know Buddy personally. I ain't got a lot of info on Buddy. So it's like, to his credit, he at least wrote stronger jokes than I had. But I don't know what the metric is if we don't like repetition and all of you say I look like the same black guy.
Yeah.
Like
No,
I don't
that's
know
true.
what the fucking metric is. I don't know like what. How do I gauge what does or doesn't count? If
you're in the
it's
same
we don't
shit.
like it when you
Yeah.
repeat jokes and 7 people in a row say I look like the same black guy, and that's the one that won that time when I dominated the
That's the
round
joke.
before.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I keep up with it.
You keep looking at him and you going, but you do kind of look
No,
like
no,
James
no.
Harden. Because
Look,
I
this is-
felt like that's what you were doing with your eyes.
No.
Your eyes said you agreed.
No.
I don't like that shit.
Smart ass. What happened was I experienced what Mohawk went through, and I thought like, yo, you tripping, bro? You tripping? You in your own head? Right and come back. So I won one, lost the second one by decision, and that's when they said some shit that triggered me, and I was like, what do you look? What's the metric? So I'm like, don't matter. I beat it. So then that's when I came back and did that one with Christian, and they roared in ways that made me feel uncomfortable.
Yeah.
You ever heard somebody laugh and it was because of a pre-notion and not necessarily your delivery or the joke itself, or they had a little bit more like hate in it?
You know
And-
what's funny about that, though? I've been going through that recently and wondering if it's okay for me to lean into that. And the reason I say that is, and this is a broad sentence, there are obviously some that do, but broadly, black people in general who do stand-up and black men in particular don't do self-deprecation. And so the idea that somebody can make fun of you on stage and it actually be something personal, if it triggers you, that doesn't necessarily mean it's wrong, but it might be something that you know what I mean, you got to look at. Because I walked on stage one day, I was like, yo, my name's Felonious Monk, and I know what you're thinking. Boop, 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 boop. And it hit me that if somebody thought my name was really Felonious, which has happened more than one time, I've gotten a lot of checks with Felonious on it. I'm like, yo, nobody asked, is that my real name? Y'all just thought my mother looked in a dictionary and was like, this motherfucker's going to definitely commit crimes. I should name him Felonious. But the fact that I recognize that there are people who look at me that way, and that is also the name that I go by, can I actually get offended? Sure, fuck y'all. I can get offended if I want to. But the reality is, it's funnier if I take control of it. It's hard to take control of it when you don't know what's coming. But at some point, you know what's gonna happen.
Mm-hmm.
You know what the room is that you're walking into. And if you pull a fucking Eminem and take all of the shit from him,
have you ever used that? Like that? Like.
but it's hard to,
It's
like I
different
said,
when
it's
it's a
hard to.
judge.
Because
No, no,
self-deprecation
it's not that
is not a thing that
is
we
that what
do.
you did?
Roast
that time?
battle, they have judges, so you got to play to the judges as well as the room,
Right.
Because you can win the room, but not the judges.
Yeah,
But
they're-
it's also like any type of
I did
debate.
it once, and it was similar. I mean, it was two women. We didn't really know each other, and they were like, "Oh, you guys are just being mean girls," and I was like, "Isn't that
Right.
the fucking point of this?" I was so.
Right? How do you roast nicely?
I was
I mean, we do roast you
It was a
nicely.
different
No,
team
you
then, by the
don't.
way, but
Wait, you don't think
I don't think it's nice. No.
you don't think Catherine and I are being nice when we roast you?
You don't think I was holding back?
That's what
That's
I
a
think.
different question.
I mean, I think that's nice, right? Like if I don't kill you when I could.
I don't think that's nice. I think nice is not roasting. That's
That's fair.
That's valid.
What's funny about that is I love that we're having this conversation a week after we had the video that we did in season 1 that has been doing fairly well is a video about me roasting Skylar and then realizing that Skylar wasn't in on the roast. And that's roasting in a roast battle is a different conversation. Roasting the way we roast Kyrie is a different conversation because he's kind of given consent for the roast. But at any point, if I looked over and Kyrie was like, "Damn, man, again," I think we'd stop.
We stop immediately.
yeah.
And that's something that we haven't done. Like when I was coming up, if you got offended by the roasting, a number of people would call you multiple types of vaginas. And I was like, when I got older, I was like, why were you calling me something that I would grow to love? That's weird. You know what I mean? You're like, oh, you're a pussy. And I was like, I'm delicious and I make you feel good? That's a weird, and that's not what they
I'm
meant.
wet and captivating.
Yeah.
Right.
Wet and captivating.
I'm moist and potentially
Thank you,
squirt if you
weird-ass
touch me
nigga. I
right.
guess
That's
you like
weird.
me.
Right.
Guess you.
Side note, it's funny to me every time somebody calls you queer because I'm like, are y'all attracted to something? Because I ain't never heard him say nothing that made me. Did you come out and I missed it? When you came out, tell me. Oh, okay, you halfway came out.
That's funny as hell.
It's way funnier that you came out like this.
Yeah.
That's
one of
way
those-
funnier.
One of those was like, nigga, you gay, and I'm like, yeah. Look, I've been to college.
Sometimes?
I've been to art school. Right? I
Okay.
went to art school. Gay shit happens at art school.
It's wild because somebody was like, "You were in prison. Did you ever do anything gay?" And I was like, "That's your big take. That was your big question about prison." I didn't, but mostly because I knew I was coming home, and I knew that was gonna be the first question you niggas asked. I don't know if that was why. I didn't.
no.
I just never was attracted.
And
to it.
anytime somebody has a
dude
roast
there,
for me about any speculation of my sexuality, I'm just like, do you like me?
Right? Is that what you're trying to say?
Because you're not my type. Like my girl at home, mind your business. Like, but like,
It's the kid named from Milwaukee that raps, JP.
Yeah.
JP came out on a podcast and he didn't really come out. Somebody just asked him a question in that vein, and he was like, "Oh yeah, I definitely had a experience with a dude." And they were like, "Wait, what?" And he was like, "Yeah, I had experience with a dude." And they were like, "Would you do it again?" He was like, "Absolutely. It was amazing. I like women, but I had an experience with a dude and I enjoyed it." And you could see that we're in a different world. Like his friend group, while they were young, urban, black, you know what I mean? They still look like from the inner city of Milwaukee. I'm sorry, Milwaukee. I'm not making fun of you, but
I am.
At risk youth.
I am.
they were at-risk youth.
I am.
But they all kind of looked at him and was like, that's crazy.
Wow.
Next, and kept moving on. And that wouldn't have happened in my era. My generation, if somebody had been like, yeah, man, one time when I was backstage, this dude gave me a little bit of head. Not all of it, just a little head.
a little bit.
Yeah, a little head. And I ain't gonna lie, you know, it's hard to tell the difference between a man mouth and a woman mouth when you're high. That would have ended that person's career in hip hop. JP's career not only hasn't been ended, but it hasn't changed the overall perception. And I think we're making progress there. That said, the fact that everybody's first shot at you is, this nigga gay, is still... There's still because gay's not a joke to me. Like
Yeah,
if you
no.
call
It's
it
not the
just-
punchline.
It's just
Right.
it's a state of being. It's like when
unless
you make fun of
you're
my
not
race.
good at it.
Yeah.
Now then it's a roast. Like
I have a whole joke about how my brother is a horrible bottom. I have a whole joke
funny.
because he can't arch his back. So what is he wasting everybody's time? Like the whole joke is I was upset when he came out because I can't picture him sucking dick, and it's not because I don't think he should. It's because he got a weak gag reflex. I used to watch him brush his teeth.
Bro, that's
He out here making the Johnsons look bad. He out here making us look crazy.
As a fellow Johnson, I would ask
He
you
out
that we
here
don't look
making me
bad.
look foolish. Like, that's why I had to go to college, because it couldn't just be him. It couldn't just be.
I just want to say that him not being able to arch his back.
That's so perfectly visual.
Waste of
What? Gagging off the toothbrush is crazy.
Both of them make me feel like I don't want to know any more about your brother. That's hilarious.
So funny.
That's hilarious. This awful bottom. Ugh. He's a bottom with top energy. Yeah. Who
No,
wants
he
that?
wear the skinny jeans. He wear the big
do the
ass,
whole thing. You
the
got-
Ed Hardy shirts with the boots and
He
the hat.
fronting. He's
Ed
not being his
Hardy
truest self.
shirts.
That nigga dressed like Urban Kung Lao. Like, I'm so confused when I see him. Pharaoh, if you watching this, fuck you.
Mohawk, bro. Now, Mohawk, why? When can we get you to do this on a roast battle stage, bro? Because I ain't gonna lie to you.
I want
showed
you to roast
people-
your brother.
I showed people his roast battle.
The
And
first one or the second
The
one?
one against Eric. That's the one that you made the reaction video about, correct?
Oh, yeah, the
And
one I
so
lost, yeah.
I showed people, and they actually had some of the same things to say. And I showed non-comedians. I showed people
Right.
that just produce
Yeah.
content, produce commercials, and they was like, "This shit feels very racial, Kyrie. How do y'all
Yeah,
do
no,
it in these rooms?"
and like, no shade to Eric, but it's just one of them.
No,
all
it's the
you
culture.
said
It's
was
the culture of it.
it's
though.
just black
Right.
joke, black joke, and I even called him out on it on stage. And then his hardest hitting joke was the one about how my mom is a hero
big-
because she
big
puts
fat-
my big head out of her
big-
small vagina.
excellent
No. He said specifically big fat pussy, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he said
that's even
he
better.
pushed
Was it big fat
your
black
big old
pussy?
head out of her big fat pussy, and I'm like, and everybody lost it. And I'm like, are y'all 12?
That's,
How did all of you legally buy alcohol in this motherfucker?
You know,
like,
you
that
know
was
what's funny though?
like-
Because and I think people miss the idea that something racial can't be funny. It can, but if that's the only thing you're doing, then it's likely. Again, go back to the Brady roast. Hinchcliffe murdered.
yeah.
Multiple jokes were race-based jokes. The Kevin Hartship family didn't pick Cotton; they had to raise it up. It's
Call it
hilarious because he's
deadlifting?
little. 'Cause they had to
Hilarious.
deadlift Cotton. What's her name? The joint that my
Nikki-
homie
Nikki
Sam.
Glasser?
No, the one he got off on Sam J. That's the homie. I was like, hey man, I don't know if you could get this joke off, but the joke was great. He was like, he don't eat pussy. She don't eat pussy. She's oh hell naws on it.
That shit
Bro,
was a
that-
good one, bro.
right,
That was
you're
good.
right. Like if you saw it on paper, you were like, nah, that's fucking awful. And then when you see him do it, you like, and Sam's reaction sold it too, because Sam was like, damn, that's good. You can tell a race joke if you have other jokes. He had other jokes. He had other jokes for everybody. If all you have is, I know why you were late. It took you a long time to get the comb through your beard. That's not. You could have just said my beard was nappy and we could have moved on because it's a bad joke either way.
Mhm.
But the
Is
problem,
that, sorry.
I was just gonna say I think sometimes it's like you said, it's the first thing I see. That's the easiest thing. And if I don't know anything else about you,
Yeah.
I would have just roasted your whole 2 years in prison.
Yeah.
I honestly would have went beep beep beep. My bad. I know that's triggering for you. Know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
I
no.
would have just make fun of that.
Would have gone further.
And that was the one that everybody was afraid to touch because it was
Yeah.
fresh. And it's like,
That's who you've talked about it publicly for 4 years.
I
I'm
have
gonna
talked
touch
about it
that.
publicly for 4 years, but it's one of those things where it's like, do a bunch of corny white people want to be the reason I
fair.
snap in public?
That's fair.
It's just, you know what I'm saying? Because, like,
Roast
as much
battling
as
is
they
supposed to
talk
be
shit about me,
fearless, though.
at the end of every roast, they were like, Mohawk looks like he could beat the shit out of us. And I'm like, y'all should act accordingly and pay. If that's what you think. If you should act like that and give me
Stored the
money.
judge.
Like, y'all should act like that. But
Is the roast crowd usually that, like, I haven't been in a long time, is it that sort of like surface level?
yeah,
No, it is not.
that's
And
what I've
why-
experienced.
Well,
And
and
also,
see, this is why-
also, I mean,
yeah.
kind of to the point here in this
Yeah.
conversation, I'm curious in a roast, like, is shit off limits? Because I think no.
Shit
I think if
ain't
you
off
walk-
limits,
I
but
think if you walk in, you should be taking the strongest punch.
yes, and what we
I'm
have.
not saying
no.
racial shit. Like there's shit that's
No, for
generally
sure.
off limits.
No,
I'm
no, no.
saying
They talk about dead parents.
personally, right? Like come for me in every way you want to come for me if you want to win,
Mm-hmm.
right?
True, but I think another thing is, again, that community is so insular. They're all friends. Like, Eric invited me to go drinking with the judges after I left.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? After I lost.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, this don't even feel appropriate. Like, of course you have permission to talk about Shorty dead mom. You was at the funeral.
Yeah.
Like, I'm a complete newcomer. I don't fucking know them. So, like, when
Yeah.
I was roasting people, I was having conversations with them beforehand about what I could or couldn't talk about. Because
You did
I'm,
that?
yeah, no, because I'm a good enough, because
Yeah.
nobody, and this is something
did
that
that
pisses
too.
me off about them too. They did not post my first battle. I won 5-0. And they didn't post it. They will not post that one. They did no clips of that one came out. It's just the one I fucking lost. And I'm like, I demolished somebody and y'all won't post that one. You keep posting the one I lost. Feels a little yucky. Feels a little yucky. You know, you had one black person and you won't post the one he won, just the one where he got demolished by somebody who used to judge on the panel, who kick it with y'all. Feels weird. It felt weird. It felt fucking weird. And but the thing is, the community's so like this that like, me saying that is going to make me look like I'm a bad sport. I accept that I fucking lost. There's just extenuating circumstances. And the reason I felt like I was comfortable talking to people about what the fuck I could or couldn't say to them is because I know I'm a good enough comic that I don't have to lean on heavy shit. Like, we heard me roast you. I don't know shit about shit. I just roasted you about how you look like you bite. I made that the fuck up.
Because you don't really look like you bite.
Because you don't. I made that the fuck up. I made that. But, like, I don't have to talk about that. I have to talk about your daddy to fry the fuck out of you. I don't.
Wait, is your dad dead?
No.
That would make it funnier though. Could he just for the sake of the joke call him and ask him if he could?
There's a middle ground, I guess.
You know, and when people ask me, like, people were like, "Yo, can I talk about the jail thing?" And I'm like, "You can," but like, I went down for beating up a cop who was beating women. Is that who you want to be?
Yeah.
You can make a joke about that, but do you want to be a white person making fun of the only black person in the room?
I mean, I
because
as a white person, I could see that being tough.
Yeah, I think.
But I also think I would have taken the challenge of making that funny.
Yes.
The idea of going, I want to be very careful because we know I was gonna call him a bitch, but we know he defends them. I would have made it about, you know what I mean? I would have made it about. I can make you look good and roast you at the same time.
That's true.
And again, we were talking about me roasting Skylar. I still make fun of Skylar. I still make fun of Kyrie, but it's not always in a hurtful way. Sometimes it's like
malicious intent.
Right. It's never malicious intent, and that's the thing. I had to recognize that if an outsider can't tell the difference, then the person I'm talking to might not know. They can assume that because of our relationship that I'm being nice to you or I'm just joking, but it's an assumption. There's still a little bit of space like, does this motherfucker really not like me? Because that feels.
The angle as a white man might have had to been like,
and that's a good point.
I got off.
Right.
Like,
yeah, that would have been like, oh man,
people that like didn't get tried.
Yeah, I'm gonna let you have round one because you know I was out there too and I hit 3 people with my BMX and nothing happened to me. So sorry, buddy. And that would have been
and that would have been good.
That would have been funny.
I would have folded, but like big ass head, big fat pussy, and they lost it. Nah.
Yeah, I mean,
nah.
I think comedy audiences right now, though, I was talking about this with Jordan Fisher this weekend, who was up at Zany's Rosemont. I hosted for him, and we were talking about in general how, like, and he's been doing it way longer than me, so y'all might all have an opinion. I'm certainly newer, but that comedy audiences feel like, maybe especially before you have your fans right now, like, particularly because we were just talking about maybe it's, like, overly sensitized or traumatized or whatever, but, like, want to hear dumb sex jokes. Like, the thing that's killing the most right now, I feel like, across the board. And I'm watching this with, like, I think he has one of the best pens, period. Like, I think he's one of the best people doing it, touring right now. And, like, even his, like, remotely interesting takes, like, he had to work a little harder for. Even than, like, 6 months ago, when I saw him 6 months ago. So, but, like, the pussy stuff, the, like, you know, face mush and
lowbrow.
Women in their 30s.
Is that the term for it?
It's just sex stuff. Yeah. Like, sex stuff is, like, I don't know.
Which is wild because it's the most universal of topics. Shout out to the asexuals who were like, not to us. I hear you, but it's the most. Everybody that exists is the result of sex. Everybody that's on the planet that exists is a result of sex. So the idea that it's the one topic that is the lowest.
How are you always?
I felt bad about roasting you without your permission, and you reminded me why.
See what I mean?
You reminded because when you get confident, you do shit like this.
You can see why life continuously beats my ass.
I'm sorry, Catherine. I didn't.
You need a short leash. You
I
can't.
had to catch that out of my periph.
It's not your fault.
And then you looked evil.
Laughing
You looked
balls.
evil the whole time.
When does he not? That's the. You know what? That's the point. It's the cherubic face. It's the round, soft baby face. It's like, oh, Kyrie's such a sweet, disgusting, filthy. Ban his Snapchat. You're the reason they want TikTok out of here. It's not. It's not
you.
misinformation. It's you.
You look like you suck people's toes to death.
Fatality. A
But like
fatality
this
is
is the,
disgusting.
but this is the shit I'm talking about. I don't have to make a single racial joke.
Hey man,
Such toast.
hey, don't. That's enough. Hey, look at me. Hey, no. Look, eye contact. No, that is enough.
Well, Mohawk, are you gonna roast again? What the fuck is wrong with this guy?
Well,
do you
here's the
wanna,
thing.
do you wanna locate? Do you wanna
They
locate
keep
that on
inviting me
tape?
back, and I'm just like, y'all need a better scoring system and judges that don't hang out with the fucking contestants if that's how y'all gonna be.
That feels weird.
Because like
It's so weird, dog.
$3,000 to $10,000 is on the line, and you kicking it with my fucking op who used to work with you, and you expect me to think the competition? Fuck out of here. Like nah.
Maybe
nah.
we can get that. I don't know. I mean,
I think.
I would be curious as to why they don't post the original.
Well, they got a
the
lot going on the
first
back end. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Whether
of course.
it be
I'm
like,
sure they have their own.
and this is what was told to me. They got a lot going on. They just set up the tournament style. It's getting bigger and bigger. So a lot of the things that they used to do.
Are you going back? 'Cause you had a good one.
I haven't been since December, but I think if I did make a return, it would be on like I would pick the person I went against. Like I'm not gonna let you put me up against your homeboy so your homeboy could try to get his rocks off and then y'all support your friend who struggles.
Yeah,
Not into that.
I've never been invited to a Chicago roast battle.
I'm shocked.
I'm not.
Why?
I don't seem kind enough to allow you to roast me and then walk out of here. What about me says I can make fun of him and we'll all giggle as a unit? I'll beat the fuck out of one of them, and I think they know it.
Well, I mean, I'm not gonna lie.
kidding. No, guys, no. White America, look at me.
They were scared as hell to judge Mohawk. They didn't even look at him in the eyes. They was like,
and they kept saying it too. They're like, hey, yo, Mohawk, it's very nice of you to let a man who you look like you take his lunch money make fun of you in front of all these people. And I'm like,
I would.
which is wild because like
Did
I
you
was the
take
one with the
people's lunch
Pokemon
money?
cards in the lunchbox. Like I wasn't on that in school.
That's the funny part is Mohawk, while intimidating looking to someone, is probably the kindest. Like even if we're talking about the crime,
it was defended.
we're talking about somebody who was defending women and children, right? And I know that there are people out there, you just support. I mean, what the fuck ever, man. Everybody contains multitudes, but there are people about to vote for a dickhead with 34 felony convictions who's been going in and out of court since the 70s at least. My entire lifetime, Donald J. Trump has been going back and forth to court for felonies, for racism, for discrimination in housing, and there's still people who will defend them, and they will sit here and argue up and down how much a piece of shit Mohawk is because he hit a cop in the face with a Huffy in a city that spends millions and hundreds of millions of dollars every year settling police brutality cases. So, I just literally was on a podcast earlier this morning and we were talking about fairness and how it doesn't seem fair for me to come out of prison and have to fight for an interview, not even a job, just an interview to possibly maybe get a job at your place because I had to write down yes to the felony question, right? But there's a guy who is the presumptive GOP nominee who has 34 fresh, brand spanking new convictions. To this date, I still have to put down the felon if I was going to interview for a job. I still have to put it down on an application. This man got convicted 15 minutes ago. Everybody in the world knows it, and he has defenders. So we're not talking about fairness. We're not talking about legality. We're not talking about right or wrong. We're just talking about bullshit and how we view each other. I view him as a motherfucker that knows way more about anime than he does about shooting people. Because of that, though, nothing changes when I talk to him. But when he walks in a room, if you don't know him, what are you, like 6'3", 6'2", 6'3"?
I am 5'9.5".
Are you like 6'2", 6'2"? What the fuck out of here? I'm 5'11". Y'all was just gonna roll. I saw Catherine. She was like, wait a minute. He's taller than I am, and I'm 5'11". So if you 5'9.5", what you're not gonna do is tell that lie today. I'm fucking sick of this shit.
I thought you were taller than me.
You got a big personality, Mohawk. I think that's what
I
he's
don't
saying.
think I'm 6 feet.
I don't think so either. I think you got a big personality.
I'm like around where a fridge is.
Or maybe I just see him as way big.
No,
wait a fucking minute. Around where what fridge?
Well, a lot of fridges cap off at around 5'8" to 5'10". That's where most refrigerators
Why
actually
do you know
are.
fridge height?
Fuck does he know fridge dimensions? But he used to work for General
Oh,
Electric.
because I had a bit about this girl who told
Hold
me
on,
I wasn't
stand up.
short.
Oh, shit, it's happening.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh, yo, he didn't lie. He didn't lie.
No, he's not wrong.
Yeah,
thought you. Now, I want to point out, though, that my perception was that you were taller.
Yeah.
Up until right that second. I was like,
A lot of people tell me that they think I'm bigger than I am, and then they meet me, they're like, you have a big presence.
I didn't think you were big. I definitely thought you were a little taller than I am. Now that I know you're not, well, fuck.
My girl tells me all the time when we go out, she's
Y'all
like,
gotta roast.
you know you're huge to people? And I'm like, no. I'm over here talking about Mega Man. What do you mean? Like, what do you mean I'm big? I like Mega Man. What do you mean I'm big?
I think
Where
Mohawk,
you
I
at
think
on
you have
Mob
a very,
Psycho
like-
100?
Mob Psycho, I finished it.
I haven't started. Is it
Let
worth
me
it?
be quiet.
It's worth
a
it.
video?
Yeah,
game?
it's
Okay.
worth it.
All right.
It's worth it. Anime manga made by the dude who made One Punch Man.
Oh, that's
One Punch came out with a season 2 with a different artist. I was just having this conversation yesterday, so I haven't watched it because I'm sorry. This is who they're arresting. People who binge watch fucking anime.
And I
Dog,
think,
you
by
show
the
your
way, I was
dick on
trying to think about it
Snapchat.
when
If
we were
anybody
in
is gonna
the-
get the
yeah,
face, it's you, Grossy
picked
man.
I
up.
hope I get that face.
But I
I'll watch
wonder
it.
because I think we all feel your presence as big. And now that I was thinking about what you said, especially because you're like I had autism, like I was crazy, I wasn't diagnosed. You maintain eye contact. I think that makes people feel small. Do you know what I'm saying?
I had to
think-
practice that.
I think you have the ability to maintain eye contact. And Jordan, again, to give him his credit, and Flowers, he has this very funny joke about millennials is like us being the last ones who can. We like got it in under the buzzer,
Yeah.
like, right at the like before Gen Z. But you're able to do that, and I think that makes people like feel a little
Uncomfortable?
cowardice.
But you
Or
know
just- or
what's
just-
wild
or
about that
just
is it's a
uncomfortable.
mask.
Yeah.
It's masking as part of code switching, and it's something that is one of the reasons that I believe that black people in general and black women in particular are underdiagnosed.
Oh, they're extremely they're
it's
the
because
most
we are-
undiagnosed community.
Right,
They're
it's
the most
because you're
undiagnosed
forced
demographic.
to learn how to behave. You don't know how to act. Is something that you hear from the time you can hear until you die. You don't know how to act. Learn how to act. You don't know how to act in front of them people. Go around them people acting like that. Don't act like that. It's not be. Don't be that way. Don't think that way. Don't see the world that way. Don't act like that. First thing I was taught, shake a man's hand, look him in the eye. I'm uncomfortable doing that. Don't matter. Shake a man's hand, look him in the eye. No one said why. No one explained. But you get into the habit of looking people in the eye, and you make a good point. I don't think I ever thought about that as intimidating. But now when I see people looking away when you're talking to them, you go, oh, not everyone does that. And they think I'm trying to bully them when I'm like, hey, man, is there a problem? There's no problem just fucking looking at you because I was told that that's a sign of respect. And now, like you said, the Gen Z, Gen Alpha, I mean, my son will look you in your eye and tell you you're a piece of shit, but that's because I raised him right. But for the most part, I think you
But
being
also just
5'9",
a lot of comics, especially when comics are, by the way, saying something like you said without saying something.
they'll look away.
Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Because I'll
Or
look at you
people
and be
in
like,
general,
you big
like,
face.
yeah.
That's the best way to roast somebody. How you going to say something? Yo, big ass. Yo, look good.
My face is big.
See, he was like, damn, that was bro.
Yeah, that's
Yo, wide chin, fat
bad.
forehead, hat
Yo,
stretching.
Haley Joel Osment head with a big.
side of the $2 quarter head.
Side note, man. Shout out to
I
Haley
have a
Joel
big head,
Osment for
too.
having that size head and that size face. Those two things don't go together.
God.
His whole face is right here.
He
just did all
built like
this-
Pops from Regular Show. He got a Pops head.
You didn't deserve any of this, Haley.
Haley,
Joel,
apologize, because you let them make Sora dumb in Kingdom Hearts. They flanderized him. He wasn't like that.
I see dead people.
You're supposed to be Sora's supposed to have more range because you're playing him, and you didn't let them. You didn't stand up for your mans.
I like how he looked directly at the camera. To let
I
you
want
know,
Haley to
fuck with
fucking
you,
know.
son. So
I want
you,
Haley
son.
Joel Osment to know that Sora wasn't dumb until Dream Drop distance. They didn't make that nigga goofy until the 3DS.
This is the dangerous. This is the dangerous cop assaulter right here that we're talking to, who nerds out over the
Carrie
characters.
and I have no fucking idea what's going on.
yeah, all
might-
right.
because y'all wasn't up in 2001.
we
When
might-
you
we might-
walk away. Nah.
We might really
You
need to
gotta pay more
stop
for that.
police if they're getting beat the fuck up by
anime.
That know this much about
I'm just
anime.
like,
not even a little bit about anime. This
That's
is an
what you should have said in
extensive
court. You should,
amount.
after they said guilty, you should have said, "Wow, y'all got beat up by anime, nigga. That's crazy."
And then run out the door like Naruto.
neck tattoo. You let me do it?
Run out the door like this.
I have a whole Hidden Cloud Village neck tattoo. You let me beat your ass?
Y'all let me. I did it with no jutsus. That's crazy.
I have a
ain't-
Gyarados on my thigh. I have a Pokemon on my thigh. You let a nigga
That's
with a
wild.
Pokemon
I was
thigh
hoping
tap
it'd be-
beat your ass?
He got more in common with my 7-year-old than with a gangster, but y'all got beat up by. Wow, that's crazy.
I'm still running Obelisk in Yu-Gi-Oh. You got beat up by me, bro.
You got beat
should-
up by somebody who that knows what Yu-Gi-Oh is in 2024.
Bro, you don't even know about synchro summoning. You let me beat your
I
ass?
ain't gonna hold you. I do, cause that was my Yu-Gi-Oh
That-
thing.
that was
I know
your
about
one?
Hey,
Synchro
find me
Summoning.
on Duel Links. We could do this shit.
No, I ain't downloaded because
Because you
know.
scared. Because you know better.
He's scared. That's what
Because
it
you
is.
fucking know better. Because
Can
I got
I-
an ape fighter deck.
Catherine says, I have no idea what
Well,
any of this
also,
is.
I don't, but that doesn't mean I have to be a part of every conversation. but
That's the coolest thing I've ever heard a white woman say.
She say stuff. She be saying stuff like that.
I took Mohawk out. He was like, well, that's it. I didn't know that y'all did that.
Kyrie, take my glasses.
You don't want to see nothing else.
I've seen enough. I've seen enough. Take my glasses.
I just didn't know that white women was on that.
I ain't
gotta
know
be in
white
all
women
the-
minded they business.
I ain't
like
know.
that.
Shout out to Catherine. She's fucking breaking generational curses.
Oh my God.
Don't-
Talking about
I don't
that
need
man
the
has a
gas.
dog on a leash. I can leave him alone.
It's not my fucking business.
He's just walking.
Talking about, you know what? Maybe he does live in this neighborhood.
Maybe he does. He does have keys in his hand as he approaches that door. Perhaps that is his building.
You know what? Walmart's for everybody. Maybe he not,
Dog.
maybe he's not following me. Maybe I'm in front of the eggs. Maybe I'm literally directly in front of the eggs like this. And
I
this
am
nigga
in
need
front
eggs.
of
He
a
need
very
omelet. I hit the
popular
camera.
item. I'm in front of a very popular item. Perhaps he does also eat eggs. Who knew?
Maybe he eat eggs too. Maybe niggas like omelets too. I don't
Maybe
think
his destination is on this side of the street.
Catherine was just actually trying to be a decent fucking human being, and I made it weird.
This
I'm
way-
sorry.
okay, no, I mean, we're all here for it. I was only casually interrupting because I know Tyler only has some time on it. And I want to make sure that we do like.
Ask you questions about.
Well, not even necessarily ask you questions like what can we do for you by being here? Like, what do you know? Is there something you do want to talk about? Are you doing like shows coming up that you want us to put on? Your social, like, what can we do to make sure that when we run out of tape, because we will push the limit as we always do, that this was of value.
That's real. I got I got shows coming up that I'm gonna post about. I do have a new Instagram. It's just Mo Really Hates Media.
I did see that one, by the way, and I thought I was like, "Is this a fan account?"
No, that's
because
me.
like I know you were.
That's
Mo
me.
Hates Media.
That's me.
What's
Yeah,
wild?
voiceover.
Let me tell you what's wild is I just opened Instagram. The very first thing that I saw.
A white woman that should be minding
No,
her business.
But no, the voiceover is
It's
I'm telling you,
it's
it's
so
so
good.
It's MJ. I saw the MJ. I was like, that's Mohawk right there.
Bro, it's funny as hell when
I
y'all
just
listen
stole
to it,
I
Joe.
just stole Adult Swim idea. You don't own brackets, nigga. Cartoon Network don't
funny.
own brackets.
That's Adult Swim, but it's just MJ. Majol. No.
Ms.
Majol. No.
Ma Johnson.
So we have Mo Hates Media and Mo Really Hates Media. Are they separate reasons or just like a backup account?
Instagram shadow banned the fuck out of me because I started talking about Gaza and I started getting reported a lot.
Yeah, they don't like that.
Cause like, fuck
They don't
Israel.
like that.
No, they told him. I think your account is the first one I've ever seen where they notified you that they would not be showing your account to anyone who didn't already follow.
Yeah, they said I
never
couldn't
seen
be
that.
found on the For You page. Now, mind you, I got multiple videos that have hit multiple millions of views, and I'm owed thousands in revenue from that, plus gifts from the gift function because they owe me a lot of money from that too. And they just told my ass I can't have that
Yeah, you
shit. So
can't
I
be
made Mo
monetized.
Really Hates Media. I'm not gonna stop talking about Gaza. I'm just gonna do it on my YouTube. Because I'm not getting monetized on YouTube anyway. You know what I'm saying? I'm just going to move the platform. So my YouTube and my TikTok, Mo Hates Media. My Instagram is Mo Really Hates Media. My Cash App and my Venmo be right there. People can always give me money.
Say it again.
I've said it
Say
again.
it on here. Say yo.
So my Cash App is Mohawk with 2 V's instead of a W.
You want to just spell that out?
MOHAVVK. And then if you look up Mohawk Johnson on Venmo, I'm the verified one. Yeah, 2 V's, W.
Oh,
W.
It's called
W.
W in France. You didn't know that?
Who? We had to talk about my education background and how I mixed
Yeah.
That's
J's
on
and
me.
G's.
That's on me.
Yeah, but
He's,
I think
We couldn't get diagnosed in our era. You know, they used to just tell me, shut up and act right in class. And I'm telling them
You,
to
no,
letters
you're
look
right.
like
As soon as you
letters.
said it, I was like, you know what?
you know what?
You're right.
Let me look at what my
right.
Venmo is to make sure I know it. Cause
Venmo Cash shows coming up.
it's just at Mohawk Johnson. It's just a picture of my face with a Mega Man hat on, and some glasses.
But we do
And-
want to support not just your art because we live in a different era, right? Everybody has to have a full-time job and also be a content creator, and one of them is going to suffer. Most of the time, it's the content creating suffers because it's not paying, especially in situations where they're banning you from paying. So when y'all see artists asking for donations, they're not saying, "Hey, I'm a broke bum ass motherfucker." You're literally paying them for the entertainment that they provide you. We talked about this before on the pod, but there are families full of people who don't support the arts who watch TV all day. They listen to music all day. But the idea of them paying someone or believing that someone should be paid for the art that they spend most of their time from the moment they get home from work until they go to sleep consuming is just, no one should get paid for that. Everyone should fucking get paid for that.
Period.
We're keeping you from jumping out of windows. I laugh at a lot of stuff that Mohawk does. My favorites are when you're beefing because people get really offended by comedians, apparently. And it's always the people who are like, First Amendment's absolutist. So for the rest of you who want to continue to support, if you don't support the art, support that he slaps the shit out of people for fighting women and children. Support that he wore the same ankle bracelet that apparently fucking malfunctioned every day for 2 years. Support him for those reasons. And if you're a black person who knows anything about the carceral system, you will know how difficult it is to get a job when you've been the public face of police attacks on police, right? Because they made that the Black Lives Matter guy did this thing, right? As opposed to a guy looked over at somebody and said, y'all are doing too much, and fought back. So support each other for that. It's one thing to just post, oh, this is fucked up, but it's another when you got $1, send $1. Let that man get a fucking Red Bull so he can stay up and watch anime all night. You know they be musty and don't bathe. That won't
Help me
fault.
pay my water bill so I can stop stinking.
I'm
I'm upsetting Monk, bro. He can
pissing me the
smell me.
fuck
He
off.
right here.
Monk
You think
smells
Monk
the
can't
funk.
smell me?
Mo really hates media. Monk really hates stinky. No, I'm sorry.
Right, Monk right here. But no, I got a Patreon too. My Patreon's $2.
And that's so that they can get special content of your life?
Yeah, they can get my full stand-up sets from shows that they didn't go to.
Bro, I was scared that you was gonna say feet pics.
No, Jesus Christ. I don't like y'all like that. That's the only fans I don't talk about. But no,
Kyrie was like,
Kyrie's like, Mohawk, you got them size 13.
I didn't have to bring it up. I'm happy because usually they criticize me for bringing up OF. You did it for me. Thank you.
Mohawk, do you have a Snapchat or?
None
Yeah,
worth.
Catherine.
Nah.
You got Monk
'cause you're
dancing.
twen-
You
yeah,
got
he's
Monk
20 now.
dancing.
Well, I'll talk to you about why Catherine asked about Snapchat. We have a situation
It's
here.
We tell me we have a situation.
We have a
it's
situation.
a layered roast.
It's a long.
It's a
run-in.
callback that I don't.
It's the long roast.
And it's not even a roast as much as it's a pointing out a thing that you did.
I don't do. They
Really
put it up.
recalling.
Look at Mohawk's face. He like, what the hell is he doing?
What did I do?
He puts his dick on Snapchat.
Why would you say that on? We can't get into season 2 thick enough without y'all bring.
I don't care how
honestly,
thick it is.
I
It's
think
not my
we're-
business.
We're cut
See what
anyway.
I did? You see what I did?
Thank God we cut, but I think the audio's still rolling.
About-
The audio's
Yo,
still
you
rolling.
put your dick on Snapchat?
Yo, your dick on Snapchat, son? That's
First
crazy.
off, that's what he talked about with the close friends clip that all those people.
That's
was
the
looking
close
at.
friends clip. That's where that came from. But it was because he was like, nah, sometimes, if it's in a close friend, I put the dick. And I'm like, no.
I didn't say like, oh, I put it. I'm like, yo, you in close friends, stuff happens. That's what I was
What
saying.
happens that your dick ends up in the green circle, son?
That's what I'm saying. Like, you ain't never been moving fast.
And my dick fall out? No.
No,
No.
but you send it to the wrong group.
No. That's your
No,
dick
me
is-
either. I was just making sure that I don't do that shit.
I'm gonna keep it 100%. I'm gonna keep it 100%. I accidentally sent a nude to the wrong number.
You
I
have
told
it
told
all
y'all
right.
it happens.
But I've had people send me news and be like, "Hey, I was trying to send that to MJ, not Mohawk,"
That-
and I'm
I've
like, "Oh
done
no, that
that.
happened. It's fine." And then I just delete the thread and I go about my business.
That's
like,
fair.
I do think
Yeah,
that's
that
fair.
happens.
That's fair, but that's not what he said. And I want you to see his face while you saying
Now
that.
I had a close friend's first thirst trapping, and I told people like, "Hey, you gon' see meat on here."
Yeah.
But I told everybody.
That's
A
a
warning
he
is actually
preemptively
why
warned.
you're a kind spirit. Fuck it.
Son, on Twitter when they used to have the little spaces, not spaces, what do they call this shit?
On Twitter it was?
Fleets. When they had the
Oh,
fleets.
Oh, wow.
Brody,
Woo, the shit
I used to look at fleets, and then that last week when because they told everyone they were going away, they were like, "Hey, today is the last day. You can't go in the fleets." You saw where if you weren't looking for meat, the fleets were not. I went through like 2 fleets, and I was like, "Oh, that's what we doing." Okay. But once you know that the dicks is out, unless you want to see the dicks, don't go in there. If I went to a place and they were like, "Yo, they in there with their dicks out," at the door, if they told me that at the door, I'ma leave.
But you don't know that at the door.
But if I walk in and I'm like, "Yo, y'all didn't tell me it was dicks out day," I would have oiled the shit up at least. You know what I mean? I came in without the oil on the dick. I came unprepared.
I hate it here.
It's terrible. Boom.
No,
No
I had to-
preparation.
I
with
was,
makeup or
I
nothing.
was wilding in the fleets and in the green circle. But I was telling motherfuckers, like, there was nobody on my close friends who I hadn't been like, "Hey, like, I'm doing this," and they either asked or I put them on scrolling trying to get to somebody else. I'm like, Oh, you didn't mean to be on it? My bad. I didn't realize you was on there. Let me get you off real quick. Like it took Nan but a message.
Right, you
and
like,
you
hey,
was
dog,
gone.
what you doing? You like, my bad, I didn't even know you was in my close friends. Boop, boop, that's that.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like,
But
it
not
didn't take Nan but a
Kyrie.
message.
Not
Kyrie's
Kyrie.
just like, hey, bro, I trust
Kyrie
you.
is like, hey,
No,
if
please.
you in my close friends, you expect to see some dick. And I'm
Now-
like,
now
no.
with
I
me-
didn't say that. I just said shit get crazy. You might see stuff.
Like what?
It
Be
depends on what's
specific.
going on.
Be
Well, we
specific.
don't know,
Use
right?
proper nouns. Use proper nouns.
kind of things
What's his
might I
name?
see?
He might be wildin'. He being me. I don't know. It
And
depends on what I'm on.
what do you do when you wildin'?
What do you mean when you're off? What are you doing?
This is apparently drugs. So I don't.
I feel like you need the full mic here.
No. We
No, what are you out here
We
doing?
are recording.
This is-
We're just not recording audio.
I'm
We're just not recording
I'm
video.
I'm out having fun.
We got video too.
fucking A, Tyler.
You know
it's
what?
Just that, it's just that
Tyler,
camera
what
that's
the
off, right?
I had a crush.
Tyler, what
Thank
the
you,
fuck?
Tyler.
I had a crush on somebody in college. We had a class.
Yeah, we have
together.
all of this on
And
here.
I never approached her, but she remained my friend for years. And on the last day of Fleet, she posted full frontal nudity, and I just want her to know, and I'm not gonna name her, but I'm still in love with you.
Man, and if we doing
I
that,
was in love with you when I was 19, and I'm 29, and I'm still in love with
It's been
you.
a decade.
there
and
was-
I'm gonna tell you that full
And I'm
frontal
gonna tell
joint,
you that.
that did not make it. That did not make it go away.
There's a
It
young
made it-
lady.
I don't care that we both dated other people and might still be. I'm still in love with you.
that brother ready to double
He
black.
said he'll be poly for you specifically.
I literally am poly. You good?
It's nothing. Everybody's happy. Make it happen.
Oh,
Cal.
I'm kidding. Don't text me. Don't call me. I got
shout out
stuff
to
going on. I
yeah,
don't
shout
have
out
no
to
money.
all the fleets. That young lady that follows Kyrie the comic, and you put up a fleet of you using your BBL to full capacity. I love you, and I know that I told you that when I saw your fleet, but just know that I still think about that day. So thank you.
Hey,
She was out of Arizona.
Since we're confessing stuff. All right, here it is. Fuck out of here. I'm married. Y'all think I'm fucking crazy? The only fleets I've ever seen, the only picture I've ever seen of a beautiful woman is my wife. Is she at home? And I love her. Oh my God. I can't wait to get back home to her. I don't even. Yeah.
No. For real though, I am.
Also, smart man. Awesome, Mohawk. What is something that you listen to right now?
Shit, looking forward to right now. Shit, I'm about to drop another comedy set on the Patreon.
Why wouldn't you tell us that earlier?
Why are you so upset about that?
Because he was talking about Patreon. He didn't tell us he was going
He
to drop something
did.
new.
He says that's where his full stand-up sets are.
But I didn't know he was going to drop something.
I'm gonna drop.
Check out his Patreon.
Very upset about that.
Drop a second one.
And sorry,
No,
finish
you
that.
good.
And then the question.
He's very upset.
No, just, I'm dropping that on Patreon. I'm excited about the new Instagram. I made it yesterday, and I already got more than 600 people following me.
I'm one of them.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's why I was able to see that particular.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah,
Oh man,
that's the homie. I don't
They
play
love
like
me
that.
for real.
Yeah, Joe. Yeah, we support you, dog.
Yeah, no. So I'm
Do
excited
you?
about
Are
that.
you following this new page?
Yeah.
Let me
He
check.
messaged me on
Let me
it.
check.
He is in there.
Check.
No. But what's your
Make
question?
sure, because if you're not,
What?
it's gonna be
Was
some
asking.
fucking problems.
We like to rap with like, what are you listening to?
What am I
Music.
listening
What do
to?
you like right now?
I'm still listening to Tyler the Creator's "Call Me If You Get Lost."
It's really good.
It's really good.
It's really good.
I might start rapping again.
It's really
If that.
good.
Do not look me up on SoundCloud. It's embarrassing.
I disagree. I like some of Mohawk songs. I actually thought you were a rapper before I thought you were a comedian.
I
and
was.
I found out you were a comedian through the process of doing comedy, but I had heard of your music before I heard of your comedy. Now, what I hadn't heard was about Kyrie and this Snapchat dick thing.
You never will because Kyrie doesn't have a Snapchat, and he's really good to all the people listening. And I don't really send stuff unless you send stuff first.
Kyrie put balls and scrotum on there. He posted scrot. Kyrie posted scrot on Snapchat.
I don't post
Posting.
Gucci.
You posting the grundle. You out here
I do
posting
not
your
post
grundle.
Gucci Grundle.
You posting your-
If we're going to keep it a buck, he did tell me he used to have a hashtag Taint Tuesdays. I don't know what that means, but I know.
Kyrie been doing yoga so he could lick his own gooch on OnlyFans.
Not with me.
Now Saturday.
Hashtag Gooch Gang. You know what it is. We outside.
Grundle.
Go back inside.
Post your grundle, nigga. What happened?
I don't even want to talk about this anymore.
I
I could have stayed at Center Space. This is crazy. I didn't know we were going to
Oh,
go to.
sorry, Catherine. What she got to say?
Catherine be looking so.
Sorry.
She looks shell shocked.
I'm more upset at my own reactions because every time you guys are saying that, I'm looking at Kyrie like, we'll post it.
Oh my God.
Throw
The
it on
plot
Throw it
thinking.
on the ground, cuz. Throw it on
the
Catherine,
ground.
like, show me.
I'm gonna be shadow banned like this, brother. If I don't
I'm gonna tell you one site you're gonna be shadow banned from, my page, because I'm blocking the fuck
That's
out
what
you.
I'm talking
I
about. I
ain't
don't get no
nobody got time for that.
support. Sex work is real work, okay, Monk?
Your lighting don't even be
Is
good. It's
anybody
not work when
paying you
do
for it?
It's not work the way
Because
you
it's
do
not
it.
work if you don't get paid.
It's not. It's
Didn't
not work
people
the way you do it because your
Pay you
lighting's
for
not
crack,
good.
but you had to do a giveaway first.
No,
That's all.
I didn't give away
You didn't do
crack.
no giveaways?
Fuck no. My
That's
crack,
because the economy for
li-
crack was better
Can we
back
talk
then.
that's
about the
'cause my work
lighting
was
in this man's
official.
gooch pics? You ain't seen them. The lighting do
He's
not
probably
be good.
Wait, what?
The lighting.
the hell are we
Talking about
talking
sex
about?
workers work. Pay for a ring light if I'm giving you money, nigga.
If
Tacky
it-
ass.
If
Bro,
if
I'ma
the
be
money's
real.
right, how about you tip the ring light? Everybody know you got an Amazon gift list. Just go on there and get it for me.
Why we gonna go on your gift list when we all saw Moonlight? We understand that you can light dark skinned people and still be beautiful.
That's what's
That's
wrong
not
with
what
you.
you
You
doing.
don't
You
know
got
the-
them harsh ass
no,
white lights
no.
on your gooch.
See, that's what's wrong with you. You don't
That's
know the nature
gross.
of sex work. I'm not supposed to buy that. My people watching it and subscribing and supporting are supposed to buy
Is
that.
that
Here's
how
the
it
thing,
works?
I subscribe.
That is how it
I
works.
see
Has
weak
anyone
shit,
done
I
it yet?
unsubscribe. You
Has
know what I'm saying?
anyone bought it yet?
I've had people buy me stuff, so
That's not what I asked you. I asked you, has anyone bought from your guest list who looks at your gooch?
Does anybody look at that
Pics.
gooch pic and go, "This is worth the
like
$50"?
This is hey, you know what? Because I'm gonna be honest with you. If I saw a gooch pic, I'd probably be like, yo, you know what? I hope he got lotion on his wish list.
You can borrow mine.
You got an ashy gooch.
You can borrow
that's actually crazy to have a crease. An ashy crease is crazy.
Like matches like this. He
I ain't gonna lie to you,
Like,
dog.
yo, it's
Ashy gooch
85
is
degrees
crazy.
outside and you still don't have a moist gooch. You got a dry gooch in
My man
85
clapped
degree
his
weather.
thighs together to light cigarettes.
That mean your
gotta
gooch
like
skin
it.
is like an
Hold
elbow skin. That's fucked up.
You got a gooch
You
made
got
out of
eczema.
flint. You got a gooch
Eczema.
made out of
Eczema.
He got a flint gooch.
I know this is
on
not
those scales?
for me,
My nigga got
but I'm
an
here.
obsidian
I'm
gooch.
here.
Obsidian gooch is crazy.
Obsidian
You
gooch.
said I got a crocodile skin under my man. What fuck this?
You got an
Son.
obsidian.
You
They
got a
made- They
Minecraft
used to
gooch?
make
That's
axes out of your
crazy.
gooch in the Stone Age.
That's
Ain't
crazy.
nobody
You
gonna-
got a Stone Age axe gooch.
They put your gooch on the crafting table and made some more armor.
You got a Far Cry Primal gooch.
I
You got a Monster Hunter
I just
Generations
want to point out
gooch.
that I am against roasting. However,
What the fuck is happening right now? This is a fuck. I feel like Drake. Why is multiple people frying me right now?
Oh, I'm so happy about the Drake beef. I'm not
Kyrie.
happy. I don't care about Kendrick. I'm just happy
fuck
Drake
you.
is getting hurt.
You.
I'm so happy Drake is getting hurt.
Bro, let me
Anytime
ask you a
Drake gets
question.
hurt, I'm happy.
if you ever hear, if someone walks up to you and goes, "Say Mo," do you expect what's coming to be good for you? Because when I heard "Say Drake," my first thought was, "Oh no,
He's gonna say something bad.
what's coming now?" And he immediately go, "I heard you like him young." So anytime someone's like, "Hey, say Mo,"
I ain't saying shit.
I ain't saying shit. Come
That's
on.
the new check it
You
out.
gotta- yeah. Hey yo, this you? That's a this you in real life. Yo, if you say Monk or say, ooh,
What size is them shoes?
ooh, your size, your size, son.
size.
What's good?
Hey, check it out. I'm what?
Yeah.
Check
Heard you-
what?
I heard you like him young.
Check what?
Yeah.
Check what up?
Why you got your hands up? Because say
shit.
is the beginning of
Don't
a rumble.
say a goddamn thing.
Don't say nothing else.
Say you're
Kendrick.
sorry, nigga.
Say
Say you're
sorry.
sorry. Say you fucking sorry
Say sorry,
right now.
Kendrick.
Apologize.
Apologize to me or else, buddy. I'm sick of your stuff.
You've had something to say for 2 minutes, and we have not.
Catherine's trying to get us out of here. That brother gotta go. We was in clown.
man.
Yeah, no, I was trying to wrap you up, but I also like I was laughing because I was like, I know this is another conversation, not for me, but I'm here. Like I don't know what you know.
I don't think I've ever been in a room with a white woman who said that twice and who actually just was like, "This is entertaining, but it's not my place."
You were only in for the
crazy.
He was only in for the gooch.
She was like, "I got a
She only
gooch."
popped in for
She's
the
like,
ashy
"I got a
gooch.
gooch comment."
I know about gooch. I'm sorry. Go.
I do have that vocabulary. But once I went to Ashy Gooch, I was like, I feel like I'll sit this.
Once we said ashy, she was like, "And there's the line."
I didn't even know that could happen. What the fuck?
Bravo.
You know where the line is? Right here.
It's right there. Wow.
Right with his story.
Damn. I'm trying to figure out whose campaign. I can't remember who it was, but somebody had a makeup campaign and they were showing the makeup on the hands, and then they turned the hands around. The inside of the hands were black because they had just darkened the images of white hands, and they didn't know that black people didn't have black palms. And I was like, that's crazy. I have to find that video now, but it was like the back of the hand looked natural because you could do that with Photoshop. And then they turned the hand around, and the other side of the hand was the same complexion. And people were like, "Yo, son, Were those monkey hands? Like, who the fuck has black palms?
Like, what happened? Do you grab the coal out the grill?
I
by
think
hand?
so. I think they just put
I need to get
makeup
rid
on
of
both
this
sides of the hand. I've heard of black face. I ain't never heard of black palm. That sounds like an amazing anime move if you had a black anime character, though. Black palm.
Or a good book of
That's
poetry.
something Black Star from Soul Eater would do.
There you go.
He'd do Black Palm. He'd
I
absolutely
don't
do
know
it.
none of that stuff. man.
Follow Mohawk on Mo
Soul
Hates
Eaters.
Media, Mo Really Hates Media, all the things we listed. Come check out his comedy shows. Check out our comedy shows. Kyrie's is coming up again here, right, at Lodge. And shout out to Lodge, as always,
Excellent
for
comedian.
hosting, producing. Tyler for sticking around 4 hours longer than we asked him to, as always.
Sorry, Tyler.
And
sorry, Tyler.
It's
what do
mostly
you,
me this
what,
time.
What else do y'all want to plug? What else do we need to
Plug Kyrie's gooch.
Plug his-
Don't plug
I
that.
repeated it before I heard it.
It's way extra
She
for
was
that.
like, Kyrie's good. Oh, gosh.
I don't do that shit for regular
It's
prices.
Kyrie
DM me
the.
for extra menus.
It's Kyrie the
Come to
Gooch.
Kyrie show.
Kyrie the gooch.
Kyrie the Gooch.
Kyrie the
D-A is
Gooch.
Kyrieda.
Oh, felonious
G-
month. I'm on your ass.
O-O-C-A.
Kyrie got a family
Hashtag.
called Gucci Man, spelled like Gooch.
Hashtag ad. It's a lot of ad stuff, but he uses Shea Moisture. Well, he's sponsored by Shea Moisture. Apparently, he doesn't use it. Is the complaint?
I lose my partnership. Fucking with y'all. Now I gotta send proof of partnership to them to let them know I'm using it.
Ad.
You
My
getting
bad.
real too specific for us to have made this up.
I'm making.
Actually an
I'm
ad.
not
This is actually
certain
a
that
ad.
we
I don't
are.
know if these are jokes.
I don't think we
anymore.
freestyling.
I think this is intuition.
Welcome to the Terror Dome.
I'm sorry, Catherine.
Kyrie, get somebody else in here so we can make fun of them too, because you didn't do nothing to me.
You didn't do anything.
Point us. How about this? We're gonna go out there. You point at two people, and I'll rip them in half for you
Cook
right
'em.
now.
Right now.
On
Looking
camera.
So disappointed. He just be shaking his head like I got a bad report card. He like,
Look, tag me in
That's
Instagram
how I feel.
Live.
Sometimes you say things and I'm like, I'm so fucking disgusted. I feel like I'm a better influence than I have been. Clearly, I'm not.
Misusing your influence.
Apparently.
oh,
At
I
ti-
see
but
what
you know,
did
to
there.
be
That was a
fair,
Kendrick.
at times, I was conflicted.
Oh,
There we
shit.
go.
Damn,
There
I don't know how to
it
finish
is.
it. Fuck, I'm pissed. I don't know how to finish it.
At
It's
times, I
poetic
was.
justice.
It's so much,
I
bro.
feel like.
No,
Yeah,
Catherine
I
got
did
in on it
I
too.
did it.
What?
I heard you was conflicted, misusing your influence. At times, I did too.
You could have easily said this gooch ain't free when we were
This
talking about
gooch
money. And you
ain't
would have
free. Gotta pay for the light and gotta pay for the.
You wild as
We
hell.
alley-ooped it.
Mohawk is disappointed.
This gooch ain't
Good.
free.
Fine.
Gotta pay for the lighting. Got an Amazon wish list. I'm out of here.
Yeah, we cut the fucking tape.
We're gonna go laugh at
See
your
it.
gooch.
That's the name of his first special. That's crazy. He was like, y'all heard her laugh at my
Fucking
pain.
walk away.
Laugh at
I'm
my
so
gooch.
sick of y'all shit in this
Walk
damn
off
room.
gooch jokes. That's
Why
what
the
I'm
hell
talking
we had
about.
one of the most important stories in the goddamn city.
And I told it. I did.
I feel like it's too much time on my gooch. What the fuck?
I don't think I never heard that sentence.
Whatever it takes it out.
Too much time on
I've
my
never heard that sentence.
That is
I was like,
bad.
is that too much time on your gooch?
Hoping it makes me